Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Here we are, Group 3. We are from Beluan. We will present about clauses and clause complexes. And we will begin to the introduction of clause and clause complexes that will be presented by our beloved girl, Novi. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Kak. Masita, the introduction is as a views writing as most than just sentence, but also clause and clause complexes. Traditionally, people have learned that sentence can speak, but people teach us that reading text is like speaking, and the presence of clause and clause complexes makes writing more alive. It's just not writing, it's also speaking. So, clause can be defined uh, as the largest grammatical unit, and clause complex is two more clauses logically connected. Okay, the first is about the example is a traditional sense, conversions, one sentence, and everything's in the initial adverse case letter and the full stops. Like Johnny invite the Wilsons to the party, but they didn't come, which made John rather indignant as he had to he was doing them a favor. Some functionals like written and spoken comprises clause and clause complexes. Like John invite the Wilsons to the party, but they didn't come, which made John rather indignant, and as he had to, he was doing as them a favor. There is a types of clauses like minor and major clauses. Major clauses divided to independent, like non-elliptical and elliptical. Dependent divided to embedded and non-embedded. Next is a major versus minor clauses. Major clauses has a predicator like verbs, like example, John invite the Wilsons party, and the predicate ones is invited. Next is minor clauses. Minor clauses does not have a predicator, so no verb. Like it's usually used like address, like vocative, like produce with sweetie cakes, like. And next is a greeting, like hi, good day, and exclamations like church. And next is major clauses, like the difference of independence and dependence. Independent clause, it's a clause can stand alone as a complete sentence and expressing a full meaning, like he felt Tony is intelligent. It's such of independent clauses. And the next is dependent clauses. Is dependent clauses can Dependent clause cannot stand alone. It depends on another clause to make it make sense or clear. Like example, Tony is intelligent, but it's unclear, so it's need a dependent clause to make more clear, and it can combine by although Tony is intelligent, he failed like that. Next, the will be present by Kak Zara. Time is yours.
Okay,
Next, we'll look at this independent clause again. It defined into two, non-elliptical and elliptical. Actually, it's typo, and the right side is elliptical. Elliptical clause are those where certain words have left out or ellipse. Crucially, this missing word can be easily understood by recovered the rest of the text. For example, here are as question and answer. Who is the best man? The best man is non-elliptical, and the elliptical one is Michael John. Even there is no the rest of after the Michael John, but it's understandable if we see the question who is the best man and concluded Michael John is the best man. Next. Next one is major dependent clause. These clauses cannot stand alone. Their independent status is usually signaled with one of two ways. The first one is by subordinating relator, such as since, if, although, because. For example, as he had thought, uh, uh, the message is unclear because it's need independent clause. And the second one is relator WH word, such as who, which, when. For example, which made John rather indignant. And the last one is relative word, that, for example, that he was doing them a favor. Or the verb group functioning as a predicator or the dependent clause must be in one of the following forms. The first one is perceptive, using infinitive to, like to plus verb, and imperfective participle ing, verb plus ing. Next. Here are the example. So as recall before that infinitive perceptive infinitive to verb is, we can see, and the dependent is to get the other connection. There is to get as the perceptive infinitive, and as the imperfective participle example is on the third sentence. She stood there cooking meals from dawn to dusk. The dependent clause is cooking meals, which is use verb plus ing. Next. And finally, we classify dependent clauses based on their role in the main clause, which is embedded and non-embedded. Embedded is a mechanism whereby an element comes to function with the structure of a group, which itself constituent of clause. Here are the example. The embedded clause. The prisoner who hid in the ticket escaped, and the embedded one is the prisoner who hid in the ticket escaped, but his compliance was captured. For the transitivity, based on the previous meeting, the difference between embedded and non-embedded clauses can be seen. For example, the prisoner who hid in the ticket escaped. The prisoner is as the actor, escaped as the material. Who as the actor, hid as the material, and in the ticket as the circumstance or the place. Here are the next example. Prisoner who hid in ticket escaped, but his compliance was recaptured. The prisoner who hid in the ticket in the column is actor, escaped as the material, his compliance as goal, and was recaptured as the material. Here are some characteristics of
function of embedded elements. First one is qualifier in a group. For example, the prisoner who hid in the ticket. He are the prison the who in the ticket explain as a qualifier for the prisoner. And the second example, I need something to keep sandwich in. To keep sandwich, it's not the clause, but as the qualifier for explaining the something. And the second characteristic is head of nominal group, nominalization. That your story is enough. Next, please. And the last characteristic is qualifier in adverbial group. For example, bidding more than you can chew is silly. Then you can chew is not the clause, but just the qualifier for the bidding of more. Please, thank you. The next will be presented by Kak Mashida.
Well, thank you. Now we approach to class complexes. Yeah, class complexes is an unvariate structure, one made up of units of the same rank. A class complex is comprised of two or more class logically connected. Or put another way, a class complex is a sequence of processes which are logically connected. Classes can be combined through one of two logical semantic relations. They are expressions or projection. So there are two combination of class complexes, but it's also called as logical semantic. Well, for the expansion itself, it has three combinations. There are elaboration, extension, and enhancement. So for the projection, there are projection, axis, and analysis of complexion. So for the expansion, they have their own sign or their own symbol. In elaboration, this is you should remember. In elaboration, the symbol is equal, sama dengan. So extension is plus, and enhancement is multiple XX. Okay, let's see. Next, please. Yeah, here it is. Elaboration, extension, and enhancement. Yes, next again. Well, elaboration. This involves four relationships: specifying in greater detail, restatement, exemplification, and comment. The types of logical relationship covered under elaboration. For example, this too is awful. So it can mean we can say it's too salty, or this too is awful. We can say it's completely off. This means what logical semantic. Yeah. Then when the first clause show, then the next clause will give the mean. Okay, the other example again. I've played in several orchestra. We can say I've played in the Darwin Symphony and the Brisbane Sinfonia. Maybe in other example again, the moon is so beautiful. We can say your face is so. We can say I like you, like that. So the elaboration here to give the more meaning from the first clause. Well, next. extension. This extends the meaning of one clause by adding something new. If we learn before about elaboration, it gives the meaning. It gives the meaning of from the first clause. So extension is adding something new from the first clause. It is also can be a support to support the first clause. So the symbol is plus because extension is for adding, then the symbol is plus. For the example, I play a French horn. Plus, it means the extension, and my sister plays oboe. The other example, I love French horn, the extension, but I'm less wrapped with saxophones. Okay, another again, I could practice this evening, the extension, or I could lazily watch TV. Yeah. So, in other words, we can say the extension is moreover or furthermore, like that. Well, the next is enhancement. This involves circumstantial relationship where the circumstantial information is coded as new clause rather than within a clause. This can be temporal, conditional, causal, concessive, spatial, or manner. It is made through an X sign. So for enhancement, the symbol is X or multiple. So enhancement gives is a description about time, about the event, as the example for temporal or time. I went to rehearsal. The enhancement after I lecture all day. Causative. You don't have time to practice. The enhancement if you teach both day and night. Causal, we didn't have rehearsal on Monday. The enhancement because it was a public holiday. Concessive, we had rehearsal on Monday. The enhancement also it was a public holiday. Special, we rehearsed at Kedro Park High School. The enhancement where we'll always rehearse. And manner, I'm developing a more pleasing sound and the enhancement by changing my embouchure. Yeah. Now we approach to projection that will be presented by our sister Grace.
Okay. Thank you. Chika. And the next is projection. Projection is a relationship between clauses. One clause gives rise to another clause, thought or utterance, and there is types of projection through mental and verbal process. So through mental is just process projection of thinking, belief, imagine, and through verbal process as wording, like this, say, tell, ask. I implement the types of projection wording. We are presentation about something is a verbal process of projection, such as the example is he said, I'm tired. That was it's a projection wording. Masih bahasa Indonesia. and she thinks he is smart. That was the projection through idea, through ideas. Why? Wait a second. Okay. Why? Because projection wording is when you are telling something, when you are produce your word, produce your uh, sentence. But idea is just when you just think and it is not produced by words. When you are just believe, you are just thinking, you are just imagine in your head, in your thought, but it is not produced on your word. It is not diteruskan, dihasilkan dengan kata-kata. It called as projection ideas through mental process. Okay, next. And taxes. There is two types: taxes, hypotaxis and paradoxes. Let's see, and the hypotaxis is a subordination in traditional grammar. One clause depends on another clause and called dominant, main, and dependent clause. Marked with Greek letter alpha. Alpha is a dominant clause. Beta is the dependent clause. Example, although she was tired is beta because although she was tired cannot stand alone by the sentence itself. Singkatnya, although she was tired itu yang dependent. Tapi when the sentence she finished her homework is alpha because she finished her homework is a independent clause. Gampangnya gitu aja. Gampangannya kalau yang alpha itu independen, kalau yang beta itu dependennya. Seperti itu yang biasa kita tahu. Although, while, meanwhile, pokoknya yang pakai kata-kata menunjukkan kalau kalimat ini adalah dependent gitu. And the second is paradoxis, coordination in traditional grammar. Clauses are equivalent and stand side by side. They are called initiating, first clause, and continuing, subsequent clause. Such the example is she was tired, but she finished her homework. Paradoxis setara, yang setara gitu. Klausa yang pertama, terus dilanjutkan klausa kedua, terus dilanjut klausa ketiga, seperti itu. Biasanya kalau yang hypotaxis itu dilambangkan dengan alpha, beta, seperti itu. Tapi kalau paradoxis itu dilambangkan dengan angka, kayak 1, 2, 3, seperti itu. And next is, this is the example of analysis of clause complexes. The letters A, B, C, number for each clause, one compound sentence, and Roman numerals like E, E2, E3, order of clauses in clause complex. I'm so sorry, we are maybe learning together. Next is symbols to indicate relationship such as alpha, beta, hypothesis, and 1, 2, 3 paradoxis. Let's analyze the example above. Although she was tired, she finished her homework. Klausa utamanya itu she finished her homework. Jadi kita cari dulu yang mana yang independen. Kita cari alfanya. Alphanya yang independen berarti she finish her homework. Oke, berarti yang A, yang alpha itu she finish her homework. And then the next is which one is the dependent clause. The dependent clause is signed as B, beta. Tentu, although she was tired. Seperti itu. What is the relationship? Relationship-nya adalah hubungan karena memberikan kondisi. Karena memberikan kondisi, memberitahukan sebuah kondisi seseorang, sekalipun dia capek, dia tetap menyelesaikan tugasnya, dia tetap menyelesaikan pekerjaan rumahnya. Itu menggambarkan sebuah kondisi. Dan enhancement, as Miss Mashita said before, enhancement dilambangkan dengan tanda X. Kalau tadi sebelumnya extension dilambangkan dengan tanda plus kalau nggak salah, dan segala macamnya yang ada juga yang ditandai dengan sama dengan, tapi enhancement ditambahin dengan ditandai dengan lambang X seperti itu. Like jadi ABC-nya itu nomor untuk setiap clause kompleks. Terus kalau angka Romalinya urutan klausa dalam clause kompleks gitu. Dan kalau A, alpha, beta itu untuk menunjukkan suatu hubungan dari klausanya, untuk menunjukkan suatu hubungan yang klausa ini, kalimat ini menunjukkan hubungan yang apa? Hubungan yang enhancement kah, extension kah, atau segala macamnya seperti itu. Terus seperti yang tadi, kalau yang A itu dilambangkan dengan, kalau yang A melambangkan alpha, B itu melambangkan beta, dan gimana kita cari klausa antara X plus dan sama dengan tadi, itu kita cari dengan hubungannya itu si each sentence, each clause itu menyatakan situasi apa. Setiap klausanya itu menyatakan hubungannya apa, kita temui dulu maknanya di situ. Baru nanti bisa diketahui enhancement kah, elaboration kah, extension kah, dan segala macam. Seperti itu. Kalau di sini kan, although she was tired, she finished her homework. Kayak gitu. Seperti itu. And next, the conclusion, the terms clause and clause complex are preferred over sentence because they apply to both spoken and written language. Clause is the largest grammatical unit, while a clause complex is the combination of two or more logically connected clauses. Clauses are classified into minor without predicator and major with a predicator, and may be independent or dependent. The relationship between clauses is built through expansion, such as elaboration, extension, enhancement, and projection, ideas or wording. And the clause complex is analyzed through taxis, parataxis, and hypotaxis, which indicate the logical connection between clauses.
At the end of our presentation, we'll say thank you. Now we are in this Q&A session.
Yeah, Miss Maulina.
I'm still trying to comprehend the idea of this presentation, and can you show me, or we can go back to slide 8?
Slide 8.
About traditional versus systemic functional.
Yeah. It's still included in introduction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one. So I'm still confused about this. When you give example of traditional sentence and system functional written and spoken clause, uh, those two are the same, have the same words, but just the pattern or the position that looks different. Uh, but actually, what does it mean by that? What is the meaning of that, and what is uh the meaning of the pet? Why you choose to write them like that? Can you please explain it one more time? Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Molina. Well, let me answer it first. If Sister Novi want to add something, okay, please help me too. Yeah, as in traditional theory, that's the writing is just like a sentence. Then without any expression, just include uppercase letter and end up with full stop. So it will be without uh, just we don't have any emotion. I mean, so it will sounds like John invited the Wilsons to the party, but they didn't come, which made John rather indignant as he had though he was doing them a favor. But when we learn about system functional, the sentence not just the right written, but also can spoke can speak. So when the reader read the sentence, it's like they the written is talk to them to talk to the reader. It's like John invited the Wilson to the party, the first class, but they didn't come, which made John rather indignant, as he had thought he was doing them a favor. Um, so for each clause, it gives its own meaning. Uh, because in every sentence and clause, the what like a comma, so other other side, it also gives a meaning. So that's the difference between traditional and system functional. Can you get it, sister? No.
Okay, thank you. I think it gets clearer as you explain me one more time. And this reminds me of some novels writing, right? Like the system functional. I think I have read some novels that uh that writes the sentence like in system functional style, right? Maybe later maybe you can tell me what kind of text or writings that use traditional and system functional style. What do we call it? Style or I don't know. Well, maybe you can give me example so we can see it in real life practice. And thank you, Masita. It gets clearer.
Yes, thank you, Sister Molina.
Okay, sorry, I just want to, what is it? To know what your question, but Molina.
All right, sir. So in these slides,
Hmm?
there are traditional sentence and system functional written and spoken clauses. And when okay, I'm trying to understand the meaning, and then as I see the examples of those two, they seem like two same words and two same clauses, but just the position or the way they write it that looks different. So what does it mean by that, and why is it written like that?
Okay, yeah. Actually, sorry for correcting this first. Yeah, actually, we still use sentence and utterance. Yeah. Okay, guys. So, remember that utterance as sentence is still used, but remember that sentence is just for written language, while utterance, yeah, sentence for written language, utterance for spoken language. And in systemic functional linguistics, not system, but systemic functional linguistics, we use clause, the term clause that can be used for both spoken and written language. Yeah. So there are no difference between the first sentence above. John invited the Wilson to the party, but they didn't come, which made John rather unwritten, and he hadn't thought, as he hadn't thought, he was doing them a favor. This is what we call clause complex in systemic functional linguistics, yeah. But in traditional grammar, we call it complex sentence, yeah. Okay. Now, in systemic functional linguistics, we analyze this long sentence clause by clause. Okay, so that here we have John invited the Wilson to the party, but they didn't come, which made John rather indignant, as he had thought he was doing them a favor. Okay, in these five clauses, there are some dependent and some independent clause. So the theory more or less just the same as the recent one, but sometimes we call them differently. Yeah. So when you have passed what is it, we call it syntax or English syntax or functional syntax, you can understand that both are the same. Ya. Jadi dua kalimat ini sama, cuma yang satu itu sudah digabung dari satu rangkaian complex sentence. Ya, itu kalau kata traditional grammar, kalau di sini namanya clause complexes. Ya, jadi ini clause complex itu sama dengan kurang lebih kalau dalam sentence ya complex sentence ya. Oke, gitu ya Mbak ya. Jadi ini nggak ada beda ini traditional grammar enggak. Both are the same ya. Jadi dua-duanya sama, cuma yang atas adalah masih dalam satu rangkaian sentence atau clause complex, tapi kalau dulu clause by clause, in which many of them are some of them are dependent and the other are independent clause. Okay, you get it, Molina?
All right, thank you for the explanation, sir.
Okay, what about the previous discussion, guys? Can I see it from the first slide, please? Okay, yeah. Okay, so we talk about clause complex. We start from introduction. Yes, minor and major clause. Okay, so in SFL, we divided clause into some. Yeah, starting from what is minor clause, what is major clause. Okay, what is minor clause, guys? Apa itu minor clause? Okay, minor clause major clause has a predicator or verb. Minor clause doesn't have predicator or there is no verb ya. Jadi betul ini bahwa kalau dalam sinteks ini bukan dikatakan sebagai clause. Misalnya hi, good day, oh my God or something, it's not a clause. Ya, tapi kalau dalam sini dianggap sebagai minor clause karena itu mungkin bisa dipakai dalam percakapan menjadi satu kesatuan. Ya, maka dianggap sebagai minor clause in which it has no predicator. There is no verb in this minor clause. And then major clause which has a predicator. Jadi ada kata kerja di sana. Kemudian dari major clause nanti dibagi dua, ya enggak? Coba Mbak, yang finite dan non finite. Oh, dependent independent, oke, ya. Dependent independent, saya kira oke, Anda tahu independent some clause that it can stand alone, and then dependent cannot stand alone. Ya, usually it's part of other independent one. Jadi independent kalimat utama, kalau dependent kalimat anak ya, anak gitu ya. Nah, dependent clause cannot stand alone because it is depend on for another clause to make sense, atau bisa dikatakan tergantung dari independent clause lain ya. Oke. Setelah itu dependent clause dibagi menjadi dua, elliptical and non elliptical. Ya, elliptical clause have a bit ellipsed ya, that is left out, but this bit are recoverable from the context ya. Elliptical itu apa namanya? Ada yang dihilangkan ya. What's your name? Maulina ya. Kalau Anda jawab Maulina, itu kan seolah-olah tidak lengkap ya clause-nya. Itu namanya elliptical ya. It means that my name is Maulina. Where are you from? Jepara. I am from Jepara gitu. Jadi elliptical itu klausa yang dihilangkan beberapa bagian karena can be can be recoverable from the context ya. Jadi nggak mungkin kalau saya ditanya siapa nama Anda? Nama saya Widianto. Anda dari mana? Saya dari Purwokerto. Itu it's not so natural. Naturally, what's your name? Maulina Hikmawati. Where are you from? Tegal. Where do you live? Sekarang, nah ini kan lengkap itu jawaban Anda kan jawaban yang hanya nama ya. Sekarang, it should be I live in sekarang. Nah itu yang namanya elliptical ya. Jadi ada yang dihilangkan. Lanjut Mbak. Nah sekarang major clause dependent clause ya. Dependent clause, major dependent clause must either be initiated by. Nah itu beberapa hal yang menjadi independent clause. Ada yang diawali dengan apa ya, saya lupa, bentar. Saya buka ini dulu, buka contekan dulu. Lupa soalnya saya. Ya, jadi saya kira saya bisa menggunakan ini apa namanya? Ada elliptical, non elliptical ya. Ini sudah. Kemudian dependent clause ada yang oke, ada beberapa macam ya. How we can see the dependent clause. Dependent clause can be initiated by subordinating later, since, if, although, because, etc. Ya, misalnya di sini contohnya which made John rather, itu ada kata which ya, yang membuat John rather indignant ya. Which itu menggantikan subjek. Yang mungkin subjeknya apa? Berarti kalimat sebelumnya ya. Relative word that he was doing them a favor ya. Mungkin kalau kita gambarnya gini, since I don't like since I don't like soto, since I don't like soto, I want to go to since I don't like soto, I buy bakso. Ya, since I don't like soto, atau itu kan kalimat yang belum bisa berdiri sendiri. Atau seperti gini, when I was although, because I would like to see you, ya, because I want to see you, karena saya ingin bertemu Anda, I am waiting for you here. Misalnya gitu, ya. Because I want to see you, I am waiting for you here. Ya. Maka ketika saya bilang because I want to see you, titik, nggak bisa. Karena ada kata because di depan, maka kalimat yang lengkap malah jadi nggak lengkap. Kalimat yang independen ditambah because di depannya jadi nggak independen lagi, jadi dependent ya. Oke, jadi itu ya. Jadi ada since, if, because dan sebagainya. Kemudian pakai who, which, when ya. Ini biasanya digunakan untuk memberi keterangan tambahan biasanya ya. Oke, kemudian pakai that ya. That itu biasanya untuk penghubung that we have studied for an hour seems to be bahwa kita udah belajar selama 1 jam, but kita nggak merasakan itu biasanya. That we have studied for an hour seems ya gitu ya. Jadi bisa diikuti dengan predictor dan seterusnya gitu. Ya, oke. Lanjut, Mbak. Lainnya apa? Oke, dependent, independent, major, dependent clause, ya. Nah, ini contohnya ini. You must flip the switch to get the other connection. Nah, ini yang di belakang ini dependent karena kalau dalam bahasa tradisional namanya adalah non-finite clause. Dependent yang di belakang ini ya. To get to the other connection, to keep the sandwich in ya. Cooking meal from dawn to dusk. Ya, ini nanti kalimat yang di belakang ini, yang dependent ini depends on the on the time frame of the independent one. Ya, ini namanya yang namanya non-finite itu finiteness-nya link ke waktunya itu tergantung dari kalimat utamanya, kalimat independent clause-nya. Ya, misalnya she stood there cooking meals from dawn to dusk. Nah, itu berarti cookingnya bukan past tense, tapi she will stand there cooking meal from dawn to dusk. Ya, misalnya saya merancang ini loh, ini besok untuk acara ini saya buatkan dapur yang mewah ini. Ya, biar nanti Maulina bisa memasak dari subuh sampai petang gitu ya. Okay, so this is the place that Maulina will stand there cooking meal from dawn to dusk. Ya, kalau dibandingkan dengan kalimat ini, she stood there, itu kan berarti pasif ya, past tense ya, past tense. Cooking meal and from down to dusk-nya itu adalah di past tense. Tapi kalau saya bilang Maulina will stand there cooking meals from dawn to dusk. Maulina will stand there cooking meal from dawn to dusk. Berarti kapan kejadiannya? Nanti, ya. Oke, jadi kalimat yang di belakang ini akan mengikuti the finiteness of the independent one. Ya, jadi ini kebetulan yang namanya dependent clause adalah yang non-finite dependent clause. Ya, finiteness-nya will depend on the independent one. Oke, mungkin lanjut Mbak. Ini yang embedded, non-embedded. Ya, yang embedded itu begini. Embeddedness means the mechanism by which an element, in our case, a clause, come to function the structure with a group. Ini kalau teman-teman yang pernah ikut kuliah saya di functional syntax, itu saya bilang begini. Ini adalah embedded clause itu adalah klausa yang turun pangkat menjadi frasa. Paham nggak? Jadi gini, yang namanya kalimat kan ada subjek, predicate, object, complement, adverbial itu ya. Nah, salah satu itu harus semuanya itu kan harusnya SVOCA-nya adalah sebuah frasa. Kalau dalam SFL namanya group ya. Makanya ini here we call a clause that comes to function within the structure of a group. Jadi klausa yang mengambil jatahnya frase. Ya, jadi misalnya gini, yang embedded ya, I need something to keep sandwiches in, ya. Atau mungkin kalau saya boleh contohkan, ini begini, misalnya, nah, kalau yang bawah ini bukan embedded ini, ya, tapi captured, ya. Contohnya begini, kalau saya boleh beri contoh lain adalah begini, misalnya, yang embedded ya, I know that she's coming. I know that she's coming. Itu kan kalau I know should be something, right? Ya, I know that she's coming. Ya, maka I know that she's coming adalah embedded. Ya, kenapa? Karena that she's coming itu menggantikan I know something. Ya, karena I know harusnya I know something. Ya, uh, kalau I know something, maka I know that she's coming. Ya, misalnya juga gini. The fact that he lied shocked everyone. The fact that she lied shocked everyone. Yeah. That she lied shocked everyone. Yeah. That she lied shocked everyone. Jadi the fact that she lied shocked everyone. Ya, misalnya jadi subjeknya adalah bukan sebuah frasa, tapi that she lied, ya. That she lied, that he lied, bahwa dia itu that he lied shocked everyone. Maka that he lied itu kan klausa yang jatahnya subjek. Nah, subjek kan harusnya kan phrase, ya, itu diambil dari that she lied shocked everyone. Nah, itu juga embedded. Kalau yang non embedded misalnya gini, yang bisa diambil itu nggak mempengaruhi makna. Misalnya gini, she left early because she was tired. Because she was tired itu bukan embedded, karena kalau kita diambil pun nggak ada masalah. It rains, we cancel the trip. If it's rain, we cancel the trip. If it rains, ini di bank apa? Tetap we cancel the trip. Jadi yang jelas bahwa yang namanya embedded itu ketika sebuah klausa mengambil jatahnya either subject, object, complement, or adverbial. Ya, jadi itu. Clause complex, expansion dan sebagainya sudah belum? Ya, oke. Ya, clause complex itu ada ini apa namanya? Logical semantic, ya. A clause considered the variable of transitivity, mood, and theme brain. It's multivariate structure, ya. That is one made up of units of different rank, ya. Jadi klausa itu bisa different rank, ya. Tapi kalau clause complex, on the other hand, is unified structure, one made up of unit of the same rank. Jadi ketika clause complex itu adalah sebuah klausa ketika anggotanya klausa juga, ya. A clause complex is comprised of two or more clauses, ya, logically connected. And put another way, a clause complex is a sequence of processes which are logically connected. Jadi yang namanya clause complex itu dua atau lebih clauses yang logically connected in one writing. Jadi sebuah tulisan atau kita gambar sebagai sebuah sentence gitu, ya. Oke. Clause can be combined through one of the two logical semantics, expansions or projection. Jadi klausa itu bisa di expansion, bisa di projection, ya. Projection itu yang sebenarnya yang I think something itu projection, ya. Kalau yang expansion itu ada banyak macam itu. Ada elaboration, ada extension, ada enhancement, ya. Oke. Mari kita lihat satu persatu. Yang namanya expansion is a link process providing additional information. Elaboration itu ya, jadi expansion itu tadi, ya, expansion adalah menambahkan adding information. It involves three types, ya, elaboration, extension, dan enhancement. Ini tandanya beda-beda, ya. Elaboration itu tandanya sama dengan, artinya apa? Bahwa klausa yang ditambahkan adalah memberi can be specifying in detail, jadi memberi spesifik. Misalnya this stew is awful, ya. Ini stewnya nggak enak, ya. It's too salty. Nah, nggak enaknya kenapa? Too salty, ya. atau mungkin memberi apa namanya tadi specifying detail restatement. This too is awful, it's completely off. Misalnya itu menyatakan kembali restatement ya. When exemplification ya. Exemplification misalnya gini, have I have seen many performance ya. Misalnya I saw misalnya tari kecap I saw apa gitu ya, misalnya gini. Jadi contohnya di sini ada ini. I played in several orchestra. I played in Dublin Symphony and Brisbane Symphonia. Itu memberi contoh. Ya, yang terakhir adalah memberi comment. Ya, Barry Tuckwell may be the world best living horn player. He is very very talented. Ya, ini memberi. Jadi apa namanya? Kalimat yang pertama itu yang this is awful, I've played in several orchestra, itu adalah kalimat utamanya. Nah, kalimat tambahannya adalah kalimat yang di belakangnya itu. Ya, jadi apa this is awful itu ditambah dengan it's too salty. Berarti itu nggak enaknya kenapa? Kasinen. Atau this is awful. Kemudian Anda mengatakan dengan kata lain adalah it's completely off, ya. Dan kemudian memberi contoh exemplification ini yang ketiga ini. Several orchestra, kemudian Anda bilang Dublin Symphony and Brisbane Symphonia. Kemudian yang terakhir adalah giving comment. Jadi 4 ya. Yang kedua, silakan Mbak lanjutkan. Ini expansion, tandanya sama dengan. Yang kedua adalah extension, tandanya plus ya. Extension itu extending extend the meaning of the clause by adding something new, menambahkan sesuatu yang baru ya. It involves and but or relationship ya. It not by plus sign. Jadi kalau disama dengan lawannya adalah plus sign. Sama dengan itu berarti maknanya kurang lebih sama. Plus adalah menambah sesuatu yang baru ya. Misalnya I am teaching. Okay, I am teaching and my sister is misalnya karena saya ngajarnya ini apa namanya, ngajarnya online ya. I'm teaching and my wife is cooking misalnya. Ya. Ini contoh di sini ada ini. I play French horn and my sister play oboe. Ya. Jadi ini and but or itu adalah menambahkan dengan memberikan apa namanya tambahan informasi. I could practice this evening or I could just lazily watch TV. Ya, itu adalah menambahkan. Yang extension, kemudian yang selanjutnya Mbak enhancement ya. Kalau enhancement itu adalah memberi gambar adalah pakai X ya. Coba Mbak lanjutkan Mbak. Nah, kalau enhancement itu adalah penambahannya adalah dengan memberi yang namanya circumstance. Ya, memberi circumstance berarti memberi keterangan waktu, keterangan tempat, keterangan sebab dan sebagainya. Ya, misalnya I went to rehearsal after I lectured all day. Itu kan after itu berarti keterangan ada satu kegiatan, kemudian kegiatan berikutnya. Ya, atau consensus ya. We had rehearsal on Monday, although it was public holiday. Jadi ini memberikan apa namanya apa ya, konsensus ya. Causative memberikan kenapa ya. You don't have time to practice if you teach both day and night. Ya, kamu kalau belajar terus pagi dan siang nggak ada waktu untuk nulis jurnal Scopus ini. Ya, ini peringatan dari dekan ke saya. Ya, ngajar sampai korpodi, ngajar sampai 23 terus kapan nulisnya gitu katanya. Bismillah ya, tetap bisa lah insya Allah. Ya. Causal, we didn't have rehearsal on Monday because it was public holiday. Ya, jadi enhancement itu adalah menambahkan dengan memberi keterangan. Ya, jadi gambarnya adalah X adalah keterangan. Jadi untuk apa namanya tadi ada 3 hal untuk yang apa namanya ini expansion, ada elaboration, and extension dan enhancement. Ya, jadi masing-masing beda. Elaboration adalah dengan sama dengan menambahkan dengan memberi spesifik dan sebagainya. Kemudian extension itu dengan plus menambahkan informasi baru. Kalau enhancement dengan memberi circumstantial agent atau mungkin dikatakan sebagai keterangan gitu ya. Oke. Kemudian lanjut ke projection. Ya, ini projection is relationship between clauses. One clause give rise another clause. Thought or utterances. Jadi ini betul kata-kata yang digunakan adalah think, say, ya dan sebagainya. Ya. Ini projection. Jadi one clause project the other clause. Ya. Projection relationship between again. Type of projection are used through mental process, misalnya think, believe, imagine, ya. Wording through verbal process of say, tell, ask. Ya. I think you are right. I think you're right. Ini adalah projection. Ya. Kemudian, I believe you can come on time. Ya, kalau saya misalnya Pak Widi kok datangnya telat ya. Ya, kemudian mungkin si Yasinta bilang, Pak Widi, I believe you can come on time. Ya. Oke. He said I'm tired. Ya, itu proyeksi ya projection. She thinks he's smart. Ya, itu ideas projection. Ya. Oke. Nah, kalau project ini ada dua macam. Kalau apa namanya? Kalau verbal itu tandanya titik dua tandanya. Kalau yang mental itu think, believe itu mental ya. Itu tandanya satu ya. Itu adalah untuk proposal namanya. Ya. Oke. Nah, sekarang kita lihat tentang taksis ya, teman-teman. Ya, ini saya hanya ulang saja. Coba, oke. Ada hipotaksis subordinating in English grammar. Jadi kalau hipotaksis itu yang namanya complex sentence ya. Kalau parataksis itu yang coordinating atau bisa dikatakan sebagai yang apa namanya compound sentence gitu ya. Jadi tetap ada seperti itu. Nah, dengan taksis ini nanti kita bisa memberi tanda begini. Ketika itu hipotaksis, tandanya alfa beta. Ya. Alfa tidak harus di depan, beta tidak di belakang. Karena jelas alfa adalah apa, Mbak? Mas, alfa adalah
Main
the
clause.
the main clause. Beta adalah di sini the dependent clause. Ya. Kalau di parataksis itu pakainya 1, 2, 3 diurutkan apa adanya. Ya, jadi bedanya gitu. Jadi kalau hipotaktik itu adalah apa namanya alfa, beta, gamma. Jadi nanti mungkin bisa diambil bahwa alfa itu untuk yang main clause, kemudian yang apa namanya yang dependent clause-nya adalah yang betanya atau mungkin sampai gamma ya, apa beta gamma. Oke. Kalau yang parataksis itu yang 1, 2, 3. Ya, saya kira ini apa namanya harus dicoba dengan latihan sebetulnya ini. Oke. Ya, saya kira di bukunya Jared and Wickel banyak sekali contoh, Anda bisa pelajari sendiri itu. Ya, nanti kalau ada sesuatu yang perlu ditanyakan, silakan kita diskusikan. Oke, mungkin sampai di sini. Dan ini sudah ada konklusinya. Terima kasih. Ya, saya hanya ngulang, jadi semoga Anda lebih paham dari yang disampaikan oleh teman-teman. Dan saya yakin, saya hanya nambahin sedikit ya dari yang sudah disampaikan oleh tim Close Complex, sehingga Anda akan paham lebih jelas. Oke, untuk ini ada yang mau bertanya lagi? Monggo silakan. Ya, Mas Ikhwan. Oke, silakan.
What about the word sense? I sense something. That considered as a projection? I sense or I feel something. Is that
I
considered
feel
as
something. Okay, wait. Projection happens when there are one clause project another clause. I sense that you lie to me. Mungkin itu projection bisa. Itu yang namanya projection yang ini apa namanya yang thought. Bukan yang tadi apa ya? Tadi ada satunya thought, satunya verbal itu nggak masalah ya. Mental dan verbal. Ya, tapi kalau sense kayaknya itu masuknya ke mental itu, betul. Ya, tapi kalau I sense something itu belum, karena itu kan baru subjek. I sense something itu baru itu harus masih simple apa namanya masih simple clause, Mas. Ya, tapi kalau I sense you lie to me. Nah, itu bisa dikatakan projection itu. Karena apa? I sense you lie to me. Jadi you lie to me-nya adalah projected-nya. I sense-nya adalah projecting-nya. Ya kan projecting ada projected gitu ya. Oke. Ya. Bisa dipahami, Mas?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Oke. Ada lagi?
No, sir.
No? Is it clear? Okay. If so, I will wait